Welcome to Keeping It Real with KC. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and I am just well, not just waking up, but usually when I do my shows, I shower and eat breakfast and all that other stuff and get my day going. But this time I just showered, so I haven't had my breakfast yet, and I'm getting my wits about me, but I wanted to go ahead and just do this early and have this show done. I'm only doing one video today, but I'm doing two shows. The other show will be a podcast only show. This particular video, if you're watching it, is because I wanted to do a something outside of lifestyle. For those who listen to the podcast, because I really have more podcast listeners than I do watchers, I guess you could say. But for those who are listening or watching this for the first time, usually I do a lot of lifestyle episodes for my show because the show is a lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. I like focusing on lifestyle. But for this particular one, I wanted to focus on entertainment only because I was on this gaming kick this weekend because I signed up for PlayStation Now because they finally, well, I don't know finally, I don't know how long ago it happened because I'm not like a hardcore gamer, but I do love video games. I noticed that their price is now $9.99 a month because at first it was like $20 a month or something crazy like that. I wasn't paying that at all. $9.99 a month for PlayStation Now is reasonable. So I went ahead and signed up for it. So now I'm playing Castlevania because when I had my PS3, I never got to play it and yada, yada, yada. And I'm playing Ninja Gaiden because I love all the Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden as some people say, games. So I didn't get to play that Ninja Gaiden Z, I think it was. So I want to play that. But I'm also playing the games because, believe it or not, some people don't know this. They say video games are bad for you, but actually video games can be quite good for you because it helps with hand and eye coordination. And I want to get back to doing that because I've been a little bit sluggish these past few months behind the scenes. So now I'm trying to do things to make sure that all my mechanicals, is that a word? Mechanicals, I guess, are up to speed. So yeah, so I went ahead and signed up for PlayStation Now and did that, started playing Castlevania. But as for this particular show, I wanted to talk about the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Now, before you go any further, if you're watching this, please don't forget to subscribe. You can click on the subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, then click the notification bell. That will let you know that more episodes have been uploaded. But as I said before, if you're like a gamer person, I don't do a lot of entertainment. I do more lifestyle stuff. I will do entertainment stuff from time to time. But I'm just giving you the heads up. As for Daily Motion, please don't forget to subscribe. I seem to have people watching the videos on Daily Motion, but they don't subscribe for whatever reason. So whatever works. I guess as long as they're watching, it's all good. And if you can like and comment and everything else, because I like to know what people think. I like to know what's on everyone's mind. You can follow on Instagram, KIRWKC. Also, you can follow on Twitter, KIRWKC. As for the podcast only episode, you have to go to the podcasting website to listen to the podcast. The podcast is carried on several podcasting platforms, but you can go directly to the main podcasting website by typing KIRWKC.com. That will take you directly to the main podcasting website. And the podcast only episodes will be there, which the podcast only episode that I'm doing today, that's not the only podcast only episode there. There are other podcast only episodes there on the podcast site. And just a heads up for those who have been listening to my podcast or watching my videos regularly, for the podcast only episode that I'm doing today, if you're a parent, you will possibly be offended by what I plan on saying. So I'm just giving you that heads up. The truth can be a little ugly sometimes. However, the truth is the truth. As the saying goes, the truth is like rain. It doesn't matter who it falls on. It doesn't care who it falls on. Now, back to the main subject of this. I have been watching the promotion so far of the Xbox Series X and the PS5. And I own a PS4. I own the PS3. I fell out with Xbox with the 360 back many, many years ago. That was what, 2006, I think. Wow. Because I got the red ring of death. Luckily for me, I had bought my Xbox 360 from Best Buy. And for some reason, I just went ahead and got because they were like, hey, you can get the little insurance. If something goes wrong with your Xbox, all you have to do is bring it in and da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, fine. You know what? Whatever. Because usually I don't buy that type of insurance. But because I was buying it and it was new at the time, meaning it had just came out, I was like, okay, fine. I'll go ahead and get it. Sure enough, as time went on, things were good at first because I was playing Dead or Alive, which I love fighting games. For those who may not know, I love, 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 love fighting games. So I got the red ring of death, and then I went to Best Buy. So I didn't have to mail mine off to Microsoft to get a replacement. It literally took me less than 10 minutes to get another Xbox 360. So for that experience back then, Best Buy was amazing because all I did was take in my broken 360, told them about the red ring. They're like, oh yeah, we know about that. And then gave them my phone number. And then they're like, here, go get another one. And I'm like, cool. They rang it up. It didn't cost anything. I was out. And that was it. That was like one of the best experiences ever when it comes to customer service, convenience, all of that stuff. It was so amazing. As soon as I got the new Xbox 360 from Best Buy, I sold it. I just sold it. I took my receipt, I put an ad on Craigslist, and I told people, hey, this is brand new. I don't want an Xbox anymore. Who wants to buy it? And I sold it, I think, for $50 or $75 less than what the retail sales price was at the time. I forgot the amount I sold because it was a long time ago. And this guy, I bought it and I showed him the receipt and everything. And I explained the situation to him and he's like, okay, cool. So he went ahead and got it. I took the money and then got me a PlayStation. The PlayStation 3, in my opinion, was one of the best game consoles ever. The original PlayStation 3, the fat one, the one that was backwards compatible with all the PlayStation games. That was one of the best things that Sony did. And Sony had my loyalty because of the PlayStation 3, because it was so amazing. And I paid the $600 for the PlayStation 3 at that time. And I was fine with that because it kept going and going and going and going. I just got rid of my PlayStation 3 maybe 2 or 3 years ago, if that. So it was amazing. So Sony had my loyalty because of the PlayStation 3. Also, Sony had my loyalty because of God of War. Because I didn't know about God of War until an associate of mine introduced me to it. And I'm like, oh, this game is amazing. And then I found out it's exclusive to Sony. I'm like, okay, well, I'm a PlayStation person now, so it all works out. Then the PlayStation 4 came out. I waited a year until after the PlayStation 4 came out to buy it. I was highly disappointed that the PlayStation 4 was not backwards compatible. I I can't say I wasn't thrilled about the price because I paid $600 for the PlayStation 3. Um, I There were certain features that were not available on the PlayStation 4 that were available on the PlayStation 3 outside of the backwards compatibility that I wasn't happy about. And there were just some other little things, but I was just like, you know what? Suck it up. I know it'll be a dependable system because it's PlayStation. Sony makes a dependable system. Also, God of War. So I was like, okay, fine. Now we're at a crossroads, which, by the way, God of War on PlayStation 4 was amazing. It was really, really, it was an amazing game. And I'll play it again one day. I own it. But side note, before I go into this other part, I have to say that God of War may not be my number one game on PlayStation because when I bought my PlayStation 4, I bought it with an Uncharted bundle because I had never heard of the game Uncharted before. So that at first I didn't like the game, but as I went to play it more, I became addicted. And then part two, in my opinion, which was the best one, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm really loving this game. So yeah, and I have all of the games. So just so you know, including the one with, oh gosh, what's her name? Give me 2 seconds. Where is it? I'm coming. This one. Here. So yeah, I have all of them. And it's an amazing series. So I will say it gives God of War a run for its money. So I became addicted to that as well, which I'm curious with the PS5. Well, I'm sure they'll come out with another Uncharted. They have to. They don't have a choice. Even if it's some type of crazy reboot or whatever. Like I said, I'm not a hardcore gamer. There could already been news in the works or something going on or stuff about it. Don't know. Don't really care. Once I see it, I'll buy it. But that's not what this is about. I'm getting sidetracked here. Mercury in retrograde. Okay. What I'm noticing here with the marketing, when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation, is that Xbox seems like they are really hungry, as in Eye of the Tiger, hungry. I honestly believe that Xbox Series X is going to blow PS5 out the water. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. I have intuition. If you are a regular watcher, you will know that I talk about my intuition all the time. My intuition is right more times than not. It's a Cancerian thing. So yeah, I have been seeing that they're doing the backwards compatibility for most of the Xbox games. Some of them have been saying all of the Xbox games, going all the way back to the original Xbox, which is crazy because that is a huge plus for me. Because one of the reasons that I had the original Xbox is because I have Marvel vs. Capcom 2. like I said, I love fighting games. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the best fighting game in history. There will never be another fighting game better than Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Period. I don't care what you say. There isn't anything that you can do to convince me otherwise, because you can't convince me of facts. What you say will be alternative facts. It is a fact that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the best fighting game in history. It is not up for debate. So I have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the original Xbox, but the original Xbox I had conked out, and I didn't want to buy another original Xbox system, even though you can get them for like $50, because it's like, okay, well, that one will probably conk out too. And then I heard about Xbox Series X being backwards compatible. If the Xbox Series X is backwards compatible with that game too, it's going to be on, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is not available anymore, because between Marvel and Capcom, the licensing did not renew. So for those who downloaded it like I did on PS3, I couldn't download it on my PS4 because the licensing had expired, and it's a done deal with them and that particular game, even though they have all these other Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and whatever, which in my opinion, all of those are garbage anyway, because I played them and I'm just like, it's not the same. It's not the same as Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I want Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That is what I want. So, with the Xbox Series X for me, if it is backwards compatible and it can play that disc that I have, that Xbox disc that I have on Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that will be the icing on the cake. But I also feel that Microsoft is willing to go the extra mile, whether it's cut the price to make it less than the PS5, whether it's to create payment plans so people can pay for the Xbox Series X, even though I don't think it's going to cost that much. I think it's going to be like $300 or $400. That's not a lot of money. So it's actually quite reasonable considering the system. And I know some people who are diehard PlayStation people are like, oh, well, the stats on the PlayStation are better and da-da-da-da. The stats are a little bit better on the PlayStation, but I just have one game console for you, the Wii. Everybody knows the stats on the Wii when that came out were basic compared to what gamers are used to. But the Wii, everybody was buying a Wii. Hell, I even think my mother and my auntie bought a Wii. It's not always about the stats, it's about the experience. And I believe that Xbox is working on creating the best experience possible for their gamers because they are hungry. They're working on creating the best experience possible to draw in new people who may have, like me, dropped Xbox back during the 360 days to say, hey, give us a chance. Because if they create the best experience possible, word of mouth is going to travel. People are going to, if somebody gets an Xbox Series X and they talk about how great it is, how user-friendly it is, oh, they were able to do a payment plan, or oh, the price was reasonable, or oh, they have all of these exclusive games, or they have this, or they have that, that is going to travel to other people who may have been like, oh, well, I don't really care for Xbox, or I'm not really an Xbox person. Because another thing I don't like about Xbox is their controllers. Why we're still doing battery controllers, make it make sense. Why are we putting double A's in controllers? I need Xbox to make it make sense. But when it comes to stuff like that, where people are apprehensive on Xbox, if Xbox is focusing on creating the best gaming user experience possible, better than PlayStation, regardless of whatever the stats are, people will give it a chance and see. Or either they'll test it out at like a friend's house or something and do that. And they might be like, hey, I like this. Or, oh, I didn't know Xbox had that. Oh, I didn't know Xbox could do that. I believe that Sony, the PS5 that's coming out, is going to be an amazing system because it's a Sony. But I believe that the PS5 will more than likely suffer from what the PS3 suffered from. Sony resting on its laurels and its, its reputation, like, we're Sony, we know we make a great system. We don't have to do an amazing user experience. We just have to do what we do. Because I honestly believe that's what it was with the PS3. Because with the price point, it being $600, and it being a great system, I feel Sony felt that was enough back then to justify their $600 price point. To say, first of all, it's backwards compatible. Second of all, we're Sony. I feel like that we're Sony attitude is kind of in this PS5 because the PS4 did so well. Just a little bit. Not as bad as the PS3 situation, but I feel like some of that attitude is there. Xbox, I really feel they have the eye of the tiger going on. And I cannot believe this is already 20 minutes. For those who watch my shows, you already know that I like to do short episodes because I have a short attention span. But I really believe that the Xbox Series X and the new Xbox console will end up crushing the Sony PlayStation. I'm not saying the PS5 won't do well. The PS5 will more than likely do well. Hell, I'll probably end up getting them both. I just don't think Sony is as hungry as Xbox is right now. I just have a feeling about Xbox right now. So, and like I said, I'm going off my intuition. This isn't anything else, just my intuition. And that's all I got. So, yeah, thank you for watching Keeping It Real with KC. I appreciate it. It was nice to do an entertainment episode, gaming entertainment, which I plan on playing a little bit today, which is another reason why I'm doing these shows early. Well, not early this morning. It's like, 9:18 right now. So, but early enough. That way I can have the afternoon to do my other stuff, and I have to record my other video for my other channel. But yeah, follow on Instagram, KIRWKC, or on Twitter, or KIRWKC on Twitter. I do a lot of anime retweets because for those who may not know, who may be watching for the first time, I love anime, which ReZero started their second season. I'm not going to watch right now, even though I want to, because that's my favorite anime. I'm going to wait till they finish and then watch it, but I'm going to rewatch season 1 eventually when I get to it. And then the website, so you can listen to the podcast only episodes as well as the audio for the video episodes. KIRWKC.com. That is all I got. This has been way longer than I expected it to be, because we're hitting close to 25 minutes now. Thank you again for watching, and for those who have been listening to the podcast, I really appreciate it. I glance at the metrics, and it's nice to know that people from different countries are listening to my show. I love that, and I love you for listening and watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, be blessed.